All right, so what is up, guys? Welcome back to Late Night Shots Podcast, episode 58 today. Don't get mad at me for the title of this video. That's just going to be a part of this. First off, if you want to talk about the at-large bits that were already announced, seating will be coming out today at 6 p.m. We're shooting this video before that, so we'll probably have something for you guys coming up seating tomorrow. At-large bids were handed out to John Birchmeyer of Navy, who I think was previously ranked top 20 in the country. Austin Harris from Oklahoma State. Again, pretty average. Carter Isley from UNI is a big one. Previously ranked, I think, 5th in the country at a point. Didn't have the greatest tournament in the Big 12, I think it was.
Yeah.
Gannon Grumma ended up winning that over Brian Andrews. And Carter Isley fell to Brian Andrews. So,
Yeah.
And I think Sam Schuyler from Buffalo, again, another average lower guy, probably around a 30, 32 seed. John Spalding from Edinburgh is kind of a bigger one. I don't know where exactly. He's probably going to see it somewhere around 25, I would assume. And the biggest one going to be, obviously, Luke Levin from Illinois. Again, not any fault of his own. Came in 8th, and I told you it was an 8-man race in the Big Ten. I already said that, but dropped the match to Tate Orndorff. Got stuck by Hilger in the first period. Caught Hilger, took him down with a low single, caught a Turk. Went right to his back. It happens. He's probably destined for one of the bigger underdog runs, if there is any, in this tournament. Granted, we said before, Gable only takes one of those spots.
Yeah.
So, that being said, Luffman, I think, can anywhere pull. I think probably should pull around like a 10 seed, but he's probably going to get booted all the way back to like 15 or 20. Based on what they're doing already, the seeding. So
that's true.
Carter Isley is going to be somewhere around the same area, and so will John Birchmeyer, in my opinion. I think John Spalding from Edinburgh may be a little bit lower. But, a low seed of Luke Luffman is not exactly a good thing for any other guys. So, that's all I really wanted to go over with this. So we'll just toss it to the side. So, topic for discussion today, AJ Ferrari. We all know the shit he was talking, Gable Steveson, Jordan Burroughs, all that. If anybody's developed a persona for people to, legitimately not like them, it's Gable Steveson and AJ Ferrari at this point.
Yeah.
Now, as we're saying that, AJ Ferrari has one loss right now, and that was to Noah Adams. And that was by a point. I don't think Noah Adams All-Americans. I've said that right now, but right?
Yeah.
He's a Big 12 champ as a freshman. Most likely going to be a 5-time conference champ, unless some athletic freak comes through. And the only other one we see at 197 right now is Braxton Amos, right?
Yeah.
We're going to completely disregard the whole AJ Ferrari versus Gable Steveson bullshit that was happening.
Yeah.
Gable still handles him in that match. I don't see any way that goes through. But Oklahoma State and Minnesota do wrestle each other. I'm pretty sure in the regular season. So next season, if AJ's a national champ, Gable's a national champ, they square off. It's a big-ass super matchup and it gets hyped up. I think AJ's going to earn a lot of his respect back just taking the match, even if he gets his ass whooped. Because I don't think there's anybody out there. I don't even think John Smith believes in him to win that match. That's just that being said. You just saw Gable Steveson break Mason Paris last weekend.
Yes.
I like to be optimistic about things, but I had no idea that could even be coming. There are people thinking Mason Paris would win that match, and that got shut down very fast. And Gable is developing the gas tank. I heard a lot of arguments, people saying AJ Ferrari might beat him because he has a better gas tank. He has to make it far enough in the match for that to matter.
Yeah.
That's kind of thing. And, he's a jacked fucking dude. That's the best way to put it. He's strong, but how strong is he compared to heavyweights? Below average. Not very below average, but he's an undersized heavyweight, obviously. But that's not going to help him in the super matchup. And 97, how does he compare strength-wise? Mean looks like to be the number one right now.
Yes.
He's also bumping up from 74. And he's only getting better as the season goes on. Same with guys like Michael Beard, Thomas Pinola from Purdue, who I think claimed to bid.
Yeah.
Nationals. He had a rough tournament, but he did. Dude, is this lighting not working right now? Or am I just that dark? Is this lighting not working right now?
Now it's working.
It's working. All right, it doesn't look too bad. My bad. But yeah, going into nationals, he's ranked 6th right now. Where I think he All-Americans at this point, right? It's looking like a 7th to 8th place All-American right now. But how many points really separate him and Miles Amin or Cordell Norfleet or Eric Schultz, who look to be the top 3 guys at this point in the season?
There'll be narrow matches, and I feel like that kind of favors him.
Yeah.
Just because again he can score so quickly.
Yeah. People want to say this time and time again. Like same thing. Go back to what people say about Tom Brady. Not an athlete. Doesn't have the greatest arm. Doesn't have anything in his favor, but he's a winner.
And I mean, here's the thing. I mean,
He
AJ
wins
Ferrari
matches.
comes in with like all of the credentials.
He wins
And I'm
matches.
watching. So the big thing, I feel like, at least in terms of like a guy like Miles Amin, who again kind of takes and chooses his shots. Whenever you have the down block, whenever you have the re-attack ability that AJ Ferrari has at least shown, so he'll down block to his knees and then he'll shoot that double. That's going to be important against a guy like Miles, who, so at least in the Big Ten final, Schultz kind of forced the hand fight because he wants to get in and work his underhook. But Miles did a great job of kind of like clearing out of it, staying out of any control, which is fine because AJ Ferrari's not going to be looking to do that. Like AJ Ferrari just wants to move your feet into his double, and he can very much do that. I mean, okay, if Eric Schultz was moving Miles Amin around a little bit, then I feel like it's out of the question that AJ Ferrari doesn't move him because he's going to at least, paw on the head and snap you down. I mean, he keeps it simple, there's no like.
And again, we've said
there's no like
AJ
Russian ties or
Ferrari.
things happening here.
Yeah, AJ Ferrari is a bitch to wrestle. That's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I've seen the dude wrestle Blair Academy, Bergen Catholic. He went to Allen, Texas after that, but again, he was known for what he did at Blair Academy at 182.
Yeah.
Then the dude started piling on weight when he went to Bergen Catholic. Went from 82. 82 was Chris Foca. 95 was Jacob Cardenas. Bumps all the way to 220. Tech fall everywhere. 4.7 40-yard dash. Ran a 4.6. I think ran a 4.5 at a point. 600-something pound deadlift. 600-pound squat. Almost a 400-pound bench, I think, at a point. Probably around 350. Yeah. He is insanely strong. He's insanely tough. And that's going to benefit him. If the match goes to overtime, I'm not picking against him.
He's probably like the biggest like freak athlete at 197.
I wouldn't – him and Cordell Norfleet. Cordell Norfleet is the biggest wild card of this tournament so far. Yeah. I'll say that right now. I would not be surprised if Cordell Norfleet comes out there and majors Miles Amin in the finals. Like, that's not out of the question for me. And I don't think it should be out of the question for anybody. After seeing how good that dude wrestled against Kyle Cannell and Colin Moore last season, I don't see it. I don't know how anyone can count him out. I think picking against him is okay based on what Miles Amin has done, based on what Eric Schultz has done. He's not going to have the criteria against them. But if he comes through and pins his way through nationals, I would not be surprised. He's that much of a freak. That good of a wrestler.
What I like about AJ Ferrari, like at least as he has been in college, he's adjusted. Because like what happens with some dudes is that like they keep trying to wrestle like they're in high school, which just doesn't translate. Like if you think about guys like no one immediately actually comes to mind.
AJ Ferrari just posted on Instagram right now. I'm looking at that. He's repping out the hundreds on incline bench for 11, 12. He pushes himself to failure. And that's that work ethic is something you rarely see. Like even in wrestling where guys like talk shit about being the toughest, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's the big wild card because if he doesn't place, it's purely due to him being young. There's no way he doesn't end up being a 3-time or 4-time All-American. And we've seen that time and time again. Now,
yes.
As much as people are going to hate to admit it because Gable again was an asshole coming in as freshman. He's still an asshole, but people are starting to get used to it. People didn't want to make Gable be the next big thing at heavyweight. Now it's part of that. The same thing goes with AJ Ferrari. Nobody's gonna want to admit because
No. Okay, so
he's like
now
a prima donna. The best way you can put it.
yeah. Now I've remembered who I was thinking of. Kirk Fleet. Kirk Fleet's wrestling kind of similar to how he did in high school in his redshirt year, and it's not translating. AJ Ferrari had a bad habit of like he would snap dudes' hands to the mat and then he would wait. Right now he's just snapping and going.
Yeah.
Right,
But
because
I think
I know that
something
like
you
conventional
also
thinking. The conventional thinking on a head inside double is you want to aim at their chest. But the problem is in high school, you can wait for guys to do that because they get up super goddamn slow compared to guys in college. Guys in college, they'll either stay down there or they'll get up and circle out faster than you can catch them. So AJ Ferrari has just been snapping dudes down and just shooting head first.
and I think
which
that's
is
going to be
what you want.
That's going to be his problem coming with Schultz and Amin. If he meets them in the bracket, that's exactly, they're going to stay down. Something Gable did very well is Gable is not a blast double guy. He does it because it's cool. Yes. He's a showman. That's the best way to put it. If you look back at how he's a freshman, his best thing would do, he was so good at getting guys' hands to the mat. It's not the power of the snap, it's the timing of the snap. And then he would chop the head down, get his head in the hole, and run the corner as fast as possible and go to a leg. On a heavyweight, if your balance is off that, your balance is on your hands at that point. And when it gets your leg up, you get up. Gable's just going to keep running the corner, step behind that leg with his near leg, and then you're down to the mat. He would never really try to work that Turk just because he doesn't have the frame to really, the length to work those to maximum efficiency right there. But that was something I tried implementing like my senior year when guys would shoot on me. Most time I'm slow as fuck, so it really didn't work. But, sometimes, I caught a cradle. And unlike Gable, I have like the length to cradle. And I would just take that, and then I would hit the leg and I would roll it through, and then it would be kind of good night there. Or at least back points, right? I think Kirk Fleet, again, you're going back to Kirk Fleet, right? He's going to be – people are really underestimating him because of this, right? If people were underestimating Gable because of his freshman season, people were underestimating Mason Parrish because of his freshman season. It's not as bad as it seems, right? If he's still injured, which it looks like, I really hate to make excuses. Like he lost Cassiope, he lost Parrish. That's the end of that story, right? But if he's injured, I don't know how bad it is, right? Because he didn't look to be able to fight off any takedowns like he should have. Like he didn't even look to attempt to defend them. That's the thing. And that's not the way I've seen him wrestle against top level. I'd consider Yusuf Amida elite level college competition.
Yes.
Came out there and typed him with these. Demetrius Thomas, a guy who should have All-American. No. But, again, guys will learn. Because who was the best guy he wrestled his redshirt season? Luis Fernandez.
Yeah.
And he beat him 6-4. And, again, that's a terrible style matchup for both guys. They're both like 6'4". They're both leg riders on top. They both like low shots. Just one's better than the other. That's really all it came down to. Again, go back to AJ Ferrari. Who's the other stud freshman in the field? Michael Beard. Michael Beard, if they meet Miles Amin, I think he has his number next time. I'll say that right now. First time it was 9-5. Second time it was 8-6 in overtime. Beard slipped on the mat, which sent the match to overtime.
Yeah.
Does it happen again? Hopefully he doesn't slip on the mat again, but it's like where he's ranked 6th right now, right? First is Miles Amin, obviously. Second is Cordell Norfleet. Third is Eric Schultz. Fourth, I would assume, would be Cam Caffey.
Yeah.
Or am I missing Luke Davison or something? Say him, then say Cam Caffey, and then say AJ Ferrari. If that AJ Ferrari is a 6th seed, he's going to match up with Cordell Norfleet in the semis. I have really no reason to think he can't get past Schultz. I like Schultz. He was my original pick to win this, but after seeing what Miles Amin did to him, is like, oh, does he really win this? That just presents a lot of – because if you get handled 7-3 as a 1 seed, it's not a choke. It just shows that you were truly never the best guy.
Right.
If – same thing with Starachi versus Kemmerer. I'll say that, I as a Penn State fan, it pains me, but, like, Kemmer impressed me in that match. That's all I can
Yeah.
say. I expected him to win. I hope that Storaci could pull it off again as a freshman. That would have been impressive. But 7-1, I don't think I expect that. I expect maybe 3-2, 5-3 match at most. It all came down to if Storaci has one of the best finish rates, again, at 174.
Yeah.
But he's also very good at fakes. Like, if you look at Roman Bravo Young, Carter Storaci, Greg Kirkfoot, is literally small, medium, large of the same wrestler.
Yeah.
I just thought about it. Somebody posted that on my post, and I thought that was cool shit to think about. But yeah. Dude, how does he fare though? It's like, what has to happen for him to win the national title? Obviously you're gonna need a little bit of luck as a freshman. That just goes without being said. No freshman comes through and walks.
He has to keep it close.
Yep.
He has to keep it close. That's always going to be that's always going to be how it is with him. So like he blows through a lot of people, but at least the way with how this season panned out, he wasn't able to compete with the Big Ten, so he wasn't able to really get a feel for that. So my big thing with this is that against a guy like, and in general, you want to keep your wrestling matches narrow, just because like the more narrow the score is, whenever because he's gonna. I mean, I feel like it's safe to say that a lot of matches he's probably going to at least be in a deficit in terms of points for a little bit.
See, that's the thing, right?
I don't think he's going to be the first guy to score in most of his matches. But, I mean, again, his down block reattack is really good. He's got 4 tech falls. So he can rack up points. He's capable of that. But against who, really?
He put up 13 points to Stephen Buchanan. I think that has to be rewarded somewhat. I think Buchanan's number 7 right now. Buchanan beat Noah Adams. Buchanan is 3-0 against Noah Adams.
Yeah.
Beat Tanner Sloan 6-0. That's huge. 197 is one of the better divisions in the Big 12, and not many people are going to talk about. But
one thing I do like is he's very straightforward. Like, I feel like there's some wrestlers who really excel in, like, because you can either go through head hand hips defense or you can go around head hand hips defense. Yeah. AJ Ferrari just goes through people. So like I'm looking at this one exchange where Buchanan shot, and then where the fuck was it?
It's like when you watch him, he gives 0 fucks. That's the best way.
Yeah, exactly. So what I like about Ferrari and what makes me think that he makes a realistic at least semifinals, possibly the finals, is that every single match of his looks the same regardless of its win or loss. So he gets into the same situations that he knows how to get into. He scores the same way that he knows how to score. When it's that consistency that looks really good. So, because if you think about our best guys, right? What does the Jordan Burroughs match look like most of the time? Either a few double legs, shut him out, or he's down by points, he makes a last-second score, and, he wins. What does Kyle Dake match look like? 2 or 3 shots, complete shutout for the rest of the match, after like a gut wrench or maybe 1 feet to back exchange where the gap is comfortable enough that Dake doesn't need to score anymore. Yeah. Jaden Cox, like a sweep single, and then just scramble. Mm-hmm. So AJ Ferrari, his matches, they always look like you got down block reattacks, it's the same hand fighting exchange always. So he'll go collar tie, the other guy reaches up, he goes over tie, and then he'll come in at the wrist. He makes his matches on the collar tie. So against guys like a guy like Eric Schultz, who especially like has been working his underhook a lot, being able to stay out of those kinds of control positions is going to be really, really important, especially whenever you're talking about a guy of, Eric Schultz or Miles Means caliber. There's not a lot of particularly complex hand fighters. And when I say complex, I mean like if you want to talk about a complex hand fighter, that's like Seth Gross, because he's really good at a Russian tie. If AJ can keep it to just posts and collars against everyone, and he can get to his double legs as he needs to, or his reattacks really, then he can win.
Yeah. I think the problem here is, as a freshman, we just take for granted that they're not faster, stronger than everybody in the weight class.
Also, again, the thing is,
Like-
people don't like AJ Ferrari because of how much shit he talks,
Yeah.
which, frankly, I don't like how much shit he talks, but he's a very good wrestler.
Yeah.
He was the number one pound-for-pound recruit for a reason. This dude can
Over
wrestle.
Braxton
Make the best
Amos.
of him. Yep.
That's
I believe-
how crazy that
I
was.
believe he was number one pound-for-pound.
I think it was number
at the
2
time of
over
it.
Braxton Amos. I don't know. I wouldn't put him over Braxton Amos. I think that's just me. But I think the chances are, if he wins this year, he's a 5-timer. You know, who's in his way, though? Miles Mean, Gordon Norfleet. Those are the only 2 realistic guys I can see beating him at this point.
Yeah.
I could see Warner making a miracle run to the finals. I wouldn't doubt that. You know,
Yeah, no, he was the number one pound-for-pound in his recruiting class.
that's crazy to think about, you know? Like,
Yeah, over Braxton Amos. That's just crazy.
I think he was kind of just handed that. I don't think there was anything. I think that just came down to bonus points.
Yeah.
If you look at who was better, you can pretty much say that was Braxton Amos for the sole fact that he didn't have a single point scored on him.
Yeah.
Right. But he wasn't a big tech fall pin guy. Ferrari was. He has the motor, too. He's not going to get gassed out. And he's just like, nobody wants him to win.
Yeah.
Except for Oklahoma State fans, except for guys that have wrestled with him.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to the thing is like, the more hate he gets, the better he seems to do.
Yeah, I mean, he's looked fantastic since. I mean, the only loss he's given up was 3-2, which
Noah
against-
Adams, who's like I was talking to people, they were saying, oh, he was nervous as hell. You know, a freshman. That's essentially me going out to wrestle Gable Stevenson in my debut. You know, not exactly, but like that's essentially the thing.
Yeah.
You know, going out
yeah, I
against
get that idea.
like I'd be shitting my pants if that happened, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously there's going to be a little bit of nerves there. You know, it's one of his first ever matches in college. It's not that simple. It's easier to go out there against a nobody.
Yeah.
But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. If you want to be the best, you have to beat everybody. So
Yeah.
I have no doubt that he'd kind of trash Noah. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if he honestly makes Mekhi Lewis run. That's the best thing you compare it to. Who actually expected Mekhi Lewis to win? I'm from Jersey. I love watching the dude. I did not expect him to win.
Yeah.
I had Vincenzo Joseph. You know, after he beat Marino, I was like, oh, we can stop him. We couldn't stop him. I was like, okay, I'm not picking against Vincenzo in the national finals. He beats Vincenzo, and that's where everybody's like, oh, shit.
Yes.
And that's really all that is, right? You know? Yeah, it's like, is there any way he doesn't make the podium? Yes. That's a long shot. Is there any way he finishes on top of the podium? Yes, but that's also a long shot. I think if he beats his seed, that's a win. You know?
Yes.
But he wants to win more than anything.
Yeah.
If he does, no matter if you want to believe it or not, he's going to make history. You know?
Yeah.
It's like Gable might too. How often have you seen a guy make the Olympic team without winning a national title? A guy that's still in college. It's like, obviously Gable's probably going to win, but actually, no, there's no but to that. Let's be honest now. But, yeah, that's really it, man. Like, I don't, like, he's so big of a wild card. It's like, oh, you don't know what to do. And again, you know, guys were asking for Big 12. Like, who really is in the Big 12 except for AJ Ferrari and Dayton Fix? Let's be honest now.
Yeah.
Dayton Fix. I'm a Penn State fan, and Dayton Fix is my pick to win nationals over Rumbrau Young. I'm 5-2 in the finals. That's really it. I wouldn't be surprised if Rumbrau Young wins it. He's made improvements. I think Dayton Fix's style completely shuts down Roman.
Yeah, so it's someone that's like pretty much as fast as Roman, like
I
not faster, but
wouldn't. I
like
wouldn't say as fast. It's still a
good
pretty
enough
decent
timing
gap.
to react.
Yeah, it's
You know?
slickness versus speed,
Yeah,
and that's might be his downfall. DeSanto's not that slick. You can tell what DeSanto's going to do from a mile away. It's whether you can stop it or
yeah,
not, and that's kind of the thing there. That's exactly what it's going to come down to. Dayton Fix is well at hiding his next move,
yeah,
and if the inside trip comes, there's no telling if Roman might get pinned or not. Like, it's happened before. So
yeah.
I think that's really it, though. Like, any final words? Like, let's be honest, though. Like, anything?
No, not really. I
No,
mean, he's
yeah.
not my pick, but he could win it. So
Yeah.
that's all.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if DeSanto wins. Let's be honest now. I would be a little surprised after what happened in the Big Ten finals. He looked to get handled, and Roman broke him. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
That's really it. But anyways, that being said, thank you guys for listening to Late Night Shots podcast. This is kind of a shorter one today. We didn't have that much time to film today. We're trying to get one out for you every day because I know a few people listen to this on the regular. We really appreciate your support. But this has been episode 58 of Late Night Shots, and we will see you guys again tomorrow.
Peace.